invented in '09 by a fictitious person named Satoshi Nakamoto.
The money of the future.
Berita terkini, terupdate tentang Bitcoin dan kripto. Harga Bitcoin gagal breakout. Harga Bitcoin hari ini gagal breakout walaupun sempat bounce back kemarin sebesar 6% dan menyentuh harga psikologinya di 20.000 US dollar atau setara dengan 303 juta rupiah. Total market cap-nya kembali bertengger di 1 triliun US dollar. Sekarang harganya di bawah 19.000 US dollar atau 288 juta rupiah. Pola Bart Simpson kembali menghiasi candlestick Bitcoin.
And Matt, you said that Bitcoin is trying to bounce back. That bounce back is starting to fail. I just want to take a quick check on the markets here. Bitcoin is now down about 0.1% on the day after earlier being well above $20,000. It's now back down around the 19,000 level, while Ether is managing to hang on to a small gain of about 0.3% at 1329 or so. Big declines, though, for XRP, down about 6.2%. We continue to watch the battle between Ripple and the SEC. And then what it means for crypto-related equities, they are barely hanging on to a gain as we've seen broader equities rolling over. Right now, Coinbase, the big crypto exchange, down about 0.4%, Matt.
Stock market open, stocks tanked, stocks are sitting on critical level, Bitcoin fell down with it. In fact, I posted over on Twitter, our good old buddy Bart Simpson is back, a very typical pattern that we see a lot of times in Bitcoin. So I just want to...
Yesterday we were talking about this pattern that was forming right here, and we knew that we were going to have a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. Now, I did have a hunch that we were going to break out to the upside. We did in fact break out, but we came crashing down to the exact same levels. This is a textbook fake out right here.
FTX memenangkan lelang. FTX, salah satu crypto exchange, memenangkan lelang penjualan perusahaan simpan pinjam kripto yaitu Voyager senilai 1,4 billion US dollar atau setara dengan 21.210 triliun rupiah.
Cryptocurrency exchange FTX has beat Binance, winning the bid to buy out bankrupt Voyager Digital for $1.4 billion. FTX scooped up Voyager Digital's remaining assets for a whopping $1.4 billion during the crypto broker's bankruptcy auction.
After multiple rounds of bidding, FTX has won the battle to buy Voyager out of bankruptcy. I'm told by a source that the crypto exchange Binance was the runner-up here. The deal is valued at $1.4 billion. Most of that is for Voyager's assets, and it marks Sam Bankman-Fried's latest crypto bailout this year and his second attempt at buying Voyager. The lender snubbed a joint offer from Bankman-Fried's companies, Alameda and FTX, back in July, calling it a lowball bid dressed up as a white knight rescue. Bankman-Fried told me in an interview that he was surprised by that and said it was because there were no consulting fees involved. Voyager was one of a handful of companies that froze customer funds and filed for bankruptcy this summer.
Alex Mashinsky mengundurkan diri. Alex Mashinsky, CEO simpan pinjam kripto Celsius Network, telah mengajukan surat pengunduran diri kepada Dewan Direksi perusahaan. Menurut siaran pers dari firma hukum New York pada hari Selasa, 27 September 2022, dalam surat resminya, Mashinsky mengatakan bahwa saya sangat menyesal tentang keadaan keuangan yang sulit yang dihadapi anggota komunitas kami. Mashinsky diduga bertanggung jawab atas serangkaian perdagangan yang buruk pada awal tahun 2022 yang memicu kebangkrutan perusahaan simpan pinjam kripto tersebut.
Celsius this morning announcing that its CEO, Alex Mashinsky, is stepping down amid its own bankruptcy hearings. Mashinsky in a statement saying he's, quote, very sorry about the difficult financial circumstances members of our community are facing. Regulators are paying very close attention to this space. Late yesterday, we also reported that...
Sorry. We're sorry. 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 We're sorry.
Strike mengumpulkan dana sebesar 80 juta US dollar. Perusahaan pembayaran Bitcoin Strike telah mengumpulkan dana 80 juta US dollar atau 1,2 triliun rupiah dalam putaran pendanaan seri B. Perusahaan modal Ten31 yang berfokus pada perusahaan Bitcoin memimpin putaran, tetapi Universitas Washington di St. Louis dan Universitas Wyoming juga ambil bagian. Menurut pengumuman hari Selasa, 27 September 2022, uang tunai tersebut akan digunakan untuk mengembangkan kemitraan Strike dengan merchant. Strike menggunakan Lightning Network, solusi yang berfungsi untuk mempercepat transaksi Bitcoin sehingga cryptocurrency dapat digunakan untuk melakukan pembelian sehari-hari. Setiap perusahaan yang bergerak dalam bisnis pemindahan uang tertarik pada pembayaran yang superior, dan kami sedang dalam pembicaraan dengan banyak dari mereka, kata pendiri dan CEO Strike, Jack Miller, dalam sebuah pernyataannya.
Now, Strike has just struck $80 million in new funding. The mobile payments platform, which uses the Bitcoin Lightning Network, played a big role in El Salvador's Bitcoin push. Now it wants to use the new cash to grow its partnerships and launch new ones. Let's bring in Strike CEO Jack Mallers to discuss. Jack, congrats on the round. What does it mean for you? What are you going to use that pile of cash for?
Thank you, my fine sir. I appreciate Bloomberg having me back. What am I going to use the money for? To continue to improve payments. We think Lightning Network and Bitcoin is some of the biggest and most broad stroke innovation in the history of payments. And there's a lot to do because it's one of the biggest industries in the world. So it's a cool moment. We're very proud of it, but we have our work cut out for us. And there's a lot to do to solve payments globally.
Jack, take me back to basics. What is the Bitcoin Lightning Network? I think it's like helpful for the audience to know what it is that it kind of underlines what your company does.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it simple, stupid. The Lightning Network allows Bitcoin to move instantaneously and at relatively no cost. And to the novice on the couch, you'd probably go like, wow, who's this kid in a hat? Why is that important? I don't care. Yeah, but you might care because Bitcoin is a digital instrument. It's actually value. It's globally recognized as value. And then the fact that it could move in real time and settle instantly is something that no payment network has ever been able to do in the history of payments. You have payments that actually take weeks to settle. They're very expensive to settle. They involve 2 to 10 parties. And the fact that Bitcoin could be digital, global, recognizable value and move at the speed of light and at relatively no cost, you have to put your thinking cap on and be like, I bet we can do a lot of cool stuff with that. And from a very high level, that's why the technology is fascinating. And that's why I founded the company, is because we got to use that technology and make it commercially viable for people in the real world to realize those benefits.
Jack, we focused a lot on the volatility in Bitcoin in recent months. I'm just looking at a 1-year chart on my Bloomberg. But if you go from sort of June to where we are now, we've traded in a more narrow range of around $20,000 US. We've called you a Bitcoin maximalist. You know, give us your take on what's happening with Bitcoin specifically.
Yeah, so I think what's interesting, when we think of Bitcoin and payments, we actually use it to escrow value, and we don't care about the volatility. So the services that my company offers, we allow you to move dollars over it or euros over it or any fiat currency over it. So volatility doesn't matter to our customers because our customers are never subjected to holding the actual asset. Now, as a Bitcoin holder, as someone who holds Bitcoin in my portfolio, I mean, what, you want to talk about Bitcoin? You want to talk about Netflix stock? Or you want to talk about the British pound? I mean, the macro environment's a little bit of a mess, and I'm happy to talk about it. But the real main point, this is the one I want to stick. The reason that Bitcoin is an attractive asset and it's an attractive money to hold, and it carries the properties that are enticing to someone that wants to store wealth in it, have not changed. And that's by design. No one can change them. And so the theory and the thesis on why Bitcoin is important to the world, and increasingly so is as profound and as sound as it's ever been, and it will always remain that way. And so I think Bitcoin's got nothing but time on its side. And as the macro environment kind of continues to play a game of Twista and figure itself out, Bitcoin's going to do its thing. It's very simple supply-demand metrics when you know that the supply is fixed and demand's the only thing that sets the price. So,
Jack, Bitcoin's...
Sekian berita hari ini. Dukung channel ini dengan subscribe, nyalakan loncengnya, dan like ya. Terima kasih.